In this Track and Trade Pro options trading training video, I want to talk to you about the two different indicators and the data that comes with Track and Trade on options. The two indicators I want to talk to you about first is the OSV indicator and the strike indicator. And you'll notice they're down here on the indicators button bar, and there's several different settings that you can have with those in the control panel. And if we go into the control panel and we go to OSV and strike, of course this only comes with the options plugin simulator program. You'll notice that we can change the different colors of the theoretical values and of the reported market values, and we've got two different indicators here, the strike indicator and the option strike indicator. Of course, the option strike value indicator, which is the OSV indicator, is an overvalued, undervalued indicator, and it's got two different colors that you can change it so that you have the upper band and the lower band. And then, of course, the Black-Scholes theoretical value you can have as a solid line or a dotted line, or the reported market value, either a solid or dotted line, and then your different colors here. And then you have these buttons here to turn them on. And then we apply the changes to our active charts. And we hit OK. Now when we come back out to the software, what we're looking at is this is the strike, STRK indicator. And what it is just basically charting the price of the underlying options price. So if we slid that all the way to the top, all we're looking at is, and I'm going to hit H to get rid of that window, all we're looking at is we're actually charting the options price. Now there's two lines there because we have the theoretical value, which is the Black-Scholes numbers. And if you're not familiar with the Black-Scholes numbers, go and listen to the Black-Scholes video before you listen to this video and come back, then you'll understand what we're doing with the Black-Scholes numbers. But the red line is the Black-Scholes number, so it's the theoretical value calculated from Black-Scholes. And the green line is the actual data that comes down from the exchanges. So when you do your data download from Gecko Software every day, we update this green line. The red line is a calculated line, and you'll notice how close they are and how uncannily close we're able to calculate the theoretical value versus the actual value of the underlying futures. When the green line goes above the red line, then of course the option is trading at a premium. So I'm going to slide this back down, and you can see how it corresponds with the underlying futures market. And we're chart-based applications, so we always like to look and compare everything to our underlying futures contract. Because we're buying an option on the price of this underlying March 2004 week contract. It should correspond with the price movement and price action within that chart. Now let's go through and we can scroll a little bit through this, and you can see that we've got all the different strike prices available for this day. And I'm just going to use my arrow keys. I'm going to go through these. Now notice that this one, on this strike, the 325 put, we don't have any green line. That means we were not provided with actual options data from the exchange on this particular strike. So what we did is we just calculated the theoretical value. Now you can still go through, and using Track and Trade Pro, you can simulate trading the theoretical value of this option and use your option strategies and use them to test and practice your skills using theoretical values. But it's nice to have the real market value there so you can see the difference between whether the price is overvalued or undervalued. But we're not given all the data on all the strike prices of all the futures contracts all the time, so sometimes there's gaps. And so what we do is we take Black-Scholes data, the theoretical value, and you see that's the red line, and we insert it where we should have received data from the exchanges and didn't. And so that's why you'll have some charts that only have the red line, where we calculate the theoretical value and not the actual green line. And as we scroll through them, you'll see some have the green line where the exchanges are providing us with data, and some that only have the red line where they're not. Now you'll see others that are like this. See the green line, how it's very flat? What this means is that the price is not changing, that somebody traded this option, and now the price is staying level and it's not changing until somebody trades it again. These are generally very illiquid options, and so that's why you'll have large areas of flat sections where the prices won't change. And so if you're simulating trading these options, you'll have long periods of time where your profits and losses will not change, and that is because the underlying option is not trading on the exchange. And so when you get a big jump, that's when somebody finally traded that option and the price and we had some price action changing. And then it's updated, and then it'll go flat for a long time, and then suddenly it'll be updated again. So you can simulate trading with the real live market data, and that's what the green line is, or we calculate the theoretical value, and that's what the red line is. All right, and I'm just going to move through some more. There's another one without any green line. There's another red one. Now there's a green one. Look at that. And so that's why a lot of the times we don't get data on some of these strikes, is because see how flat it is? For a period of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, nobody traded it. And so they just stop sending down data sometimes. And so what we do is we calculate it with the red line, the theoretical value, which gives you a lot more realistic view of the market. And so as we go down through them, you can see which ones have the real market data and which ones don't. And of course, the real market data ones are the ones that you probably want to be trading in the real life, because those are the ones that have the high volume and high open interest, and those are where people have lots of interest in trading that particular option. Now let's go over and look at the OSV indicator. You'll notice that it's a different style of indicator. It's a histogram. And what we do is we call it the premium side and the discount side, because what we're doing is we're taking the actual value. If we go back to the strike, you'll see this is the exact same one. See the green line and the red line. Now we go and look at it in the histogram view, and what we're seeing, the actual value of the option compared to the theoretical value. So the theoretical value is the zero line right straight through the center. That's the theoretical value of the option. Then we calculate the actual value of the option and put it on the histogram. So if the actual value of the option is trading below the theoretical value, you'll get the histogram pointing down to the bottom side, and that's our discount side, meaning that the price of the option is relatively inexpensive or cheap compared to the theoretical value. And then the upside is when the option becomes expensive and it is trading at a premium, or you're paying more for the option than what we calculate the theoretical value to be. And of course, you'll notice that those also correspond with another indicator that we have on here called the historic volatility. Now, when historic volatility is high, the prices of options are generally overvalued. When historic volatility is low, the prices of this particular strike or option is undervalued. And so that's how historic volatility compares to and works with, in conjunction, the options market value indicator and the strike indicator.